wrapped up in my sleeping bag, looking out the window at Aaron's house as the sun is beginning to creep over the horizon. And the trees are silhouetted black against the emerging blue sky with the fading stars up in the sky. And I think to myself how much I hate Aaron because he's got it fucking made with this fantastic house of his, this nice little piece of property tucked away out in the backwoods of South Dakota. God, I fucking hate him. I hope he dies. I hope he dies of syphilis. You piece of shit.
Oh, it any day at Asshole Consulting beats banking. And I'm not critiquing you, sir, for sending me this article. I've even read the article, but I'm already wincing in pain. Where it's another neurotic pain in the ass. Narcissist, not in a clinically diagnosed mean person, but where people only know how to talk about themselves. Me. Oh my God, and the feelings and the emotions I'm going through, da da da. Like, I don't care. I don't care. And well, it was Mia Gia McCool? Mia, oh, fuck, what was her name? She did a tweet and I retweeted it. Gia McCool. Hang on, let me get this right. Just let me get this right. Gia McCool, which is kind of almost too cool sounding. Gia McCool, I guess that is her name. Yeah, that's the gal. She said a tweet, something about women have a problem with sex. And I'm more like, no, that's like having a problem with Brussels sprouts. Some people like it, some people don't. You can have a problem with sex. You either like it or you don't, or you're meh, like any other kind of food. She kind of took more of I don't want to put words in her mouth, but she took more of the women got a problem with sex. Like, what was it? 10% will never have an orgasm in their life, 15% or half, some shocking numbers. We've gone over it before. They have an issue arriving. I'll give you the joke. Why don't Edina girls come to the baseball game, right? Come to the baseball game, right? Because they arrive. That's a joke. You can use that for any pretentious asshole town in your neighborhood. Why don't the girls from XYZ town come to the baseball game? To the baseball game. Because they arrive. And she was like, you girls have got to get your stuff together. I'm simplifying it, but she was of the opinion that girls have got to do something about this. Hey, this isn't right. Whereas I'm very more libertarian, where I'm like, look, man, I understand it's got to be the right guy, but this ain't my problem anymore. And it never was. That's what irked me. I would like to get laid. I like chocolate ice cream. Do you like chocolate ice cream? Would you like to all have some chocolate ice cream together? I can understand on a certain level. What the you ever meet someone who doesn't like ice cream? They're there. And you're like, what the hell is wrong with you? What do you mean you don't like ice cream? It's almost like that. I think men have way more of a vested interest in this than they logically have a right to, because it's another person. But I understand the genetics where it's like, what the fuck is wrong with sex? I'll tell you what's wrong with sex. Nothing, right? Objectively, let's just be factual here. There's nothing wrong with sex. Even if it's bad, it's still good. Modernly, if you have no STDs and because of the wonders of birth control and I have vasectomy, it's consequence free. Like, it really is like free. Who likes free ice cream? Everybody, except for those weirdos over there, like people who have foot fetishes. It's weird. I can't judge you. Like, well, you like what you like. But it's weird. People don't like ice cream. It's weird. Some people don't have sex. And if you look at the stats, it's a higher percentage that you think, you know what? You know whose problem that is? It's theirs problems. People who don't like chocolate ice cream, that's a them problem. What I'm trying to get to you guys is understand, I know you like to really enjoy chocolate ice cream together, right? And you're like, it's chocolate ice cream. What's the big hang up? There shouldn't be a hang up. You're 100% right, but there still is one. And you know whose problem that is? It's their problem. It was never your obligation or responsibility. Well, I got to figure this. No, a significant percentage of women either do not like it or have issues with it. A significant percent. And also we could add the suffix with you, right? Because there's a bunch of people trying to jump in. They just don't like this with you. They don't just like that with you. There's a time machine and it's got the flux capacitor. And you go back to 1990 when that bullshit worked. While you're at it, claim I'm gay and have a small dick at the same time, all right? I'm being serious. A lot of gals don't like it. A lot of gals are afraid. A lot of, you know what? That's their problem. They don't like chocolate ice cream. And so this article the guy sent, a girl discovered sex at 40. Is this real? Is the clickbait? I think there's some veracity because you men, look, if guys weren't interested in chocolate ice cream so much, we're not going to talk about it. But you guys, the number one thing driving you life is chocolate ice cream. And so I'm just trying to explain to you, I'm going to use this article to show you the absurdity of the childish bullshit. Maybe it's not childish. I've got the childish bullshit you have to deal with in order to get chocolate ice cream. Well, I don't know if I want to sell the chocolate ice cream. You're the right time. Okay, fine. Then don't side. Go somewhere else. Don't have to. And just from the title, all right, someone in their 40s, right? For you boys in your 20s, your teens, they're like, what's going on? I saw the movies. What's going on? This is what you're dealing with. Cappy thought you might get a kick out of this New York Times article, which is increasingly going clickbaity. This might explain your hypothesis that women just don't like men that much, especially as their low testosterone levels get lower with age, but give them the guy juice and they are on fire. It could be something as simple as the guy juice. They found that the solution for erectile dysfunction was for your wife to lose 100 pounds. Then it magically goes away. Did you know hot chicks cure erectile dysfunction? Imagine that. Let me go over here. It changed my marriage. Jessica Medina, 41-year-old marketing consultant, told me with 4 kids in the house, sex happening 6 times a week, up from how about never, pre-testosterone. She had to put a lock on the bedroom door. They're in a marriage growth group at church for years. Blah, 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 blah. All right, so let's read the article. How long is it? Oh, it's a large font. All right, let's go. Let's go through it. And they got the creepiest looking animation thing. Spend enough time speaking to women who are taking testosterone, specifically in very high doses, and you start to notice they start to sound messianic. They're often talking fast and intensely. They're amped up. They're describing what they clearly consider a miracle drug, and they have no intention of lowering their dose despite the unknown risks of, oh my God, no, women are having fun. Stop! Women are having orgasms, and the men in their lives are enjoying it too. Quick, put an end to it. Despite the unknown risks or some problems with facial hair. After all, how can they worry about facial hair when they feel so alive? Who wrote this? Susan Dominus. Do you all go? Hang on. Side note. Do you all go to the same journalism school where you lead in with some horse shit, touchy-feely girl shit story with over exuberant, over flowery words? Yes, I know I have more subscribers than her. Yes, I know I didn't go to school. Dominus. Oh, God. What the fuck? No. No. You're gonna write. You're the one that writes about menopause. Okay, I get it. Just looking at her, I'm like, yep, physiognomy. This is clickbait. This is bullshit. Oh my God, how we balance feminism with sex to make you unhappy? Let's discuss. Article 3247. We'll just move the post a little bit more for you guys. See, you did everything before, but there's this other thing now. It's nothing they can't take care of with a quick waxing, which they now have the energy to do at the end of the day, right after they prepare a high-protein dinner for their family, and before they put the finishing touches on their spreadsheets, close their laptops, and light a few mood candles for sex they know will be great, maybe even better than the sex they had last night, even though they're a day older. This is it's fiction. I believe this Jessica Medina. Yeah, okay, I believe this happened. But this isn't a trend. It's like Josh Fluke. He always gets on top of those trends. He always points out the bullshit buzzword corpo trends. We're right sizing. We're this shifting. We're that dicking. There's no data, right? Did you look up a lot of more women? Testosterone prescriptions up 73%. It's changed my marriage. Jessica Medina, 41-year-old marketing consultant, told me with 4 kids in the house and sex happening 6 times a week, up from how about never pre-testosterone. She had to put a lock on the bedroom door. Her and her husband had attended a marriage growth group at church for years. Well, what do Christians know about repopulating or having sex or having children? No, honestly, answer me that and I'll get back to it. But it took testosterone for the relationship to be, as she put it, 100 times closer. There you go, ladies. There's your solution. You can start liking chocolate ice cream. Go get yourself a shot of testosterone. Makes them faster. Make protein diets. Obviously, pay attention more to the schedule. Oh, makes them on time, too? I'm going to jam you full of testosterone. You're going to act like a guy now a little bit? And all you got to do is get a little bit of them gone. You show up on time. You make a high-protein meal. And it's about let's get to the sex. Well, sign me up for this right now. Wouldn't it be hilarious that this was the solution to all of America's wedding or marriage issues? Is women just need to have a shot of testosterone? She was a little less emotional, a little less sentimental than she used to be, but she didn't have time for that kind of thing anyway. It's more like get stuff done, handle business, work out. She said, wow. I'm officially now, we gotta do trial run for this. Take all that USAID money we had teaching kids in Guatemala how to be trans, and let's get every hot woman shots of testosterone here. Let's do it. She said, in order to do all that and still have time for her kids and their sports, there's no time to whine about how hard it is. Okay, see, I don't believe she changed that much. Catherine Lynn, a single mother who ran a bio-coastal fashion media. Oh, shut the fuck up. She's got a website and she happens to be from China. Okay, that's it. Went on testosterone in her early 40s to raise her energy. She got the boost she wanted, started lifting heavier weights, decided to pursue a degree in holistic nutrition. New York Times, do you listen to yourselves? Do you listen to yourselves? Like, where's this world where everyone's in the New York Times? Everyone just is like liberal arts majors and they have financial troubles and they're shocked about lifting weights and men want sex. And enjoyed an unexpected side effect. She started having orgasms for the first time in years. Not my problem. Guys, this is what they read, okay? Now, you think this is bad. Now, go back to the olden days when they had their Teen Beat magazines and the Girly Boss, whatever, and the whatever websites, XO Jane and the Penske Media Group, all that shit. That's what they were taking. And now there's 40. These are the girl bosses. These are your elders. Both Medina and Lynn are taking an amount of testosterone that's brought their levels higher than what women produce naturally at any point in their lifetimes. The way they and many women on these high doses, imagine that testosterone would make women vote Republican and balance the budget and say, no, get your own damn food. We're cutting EBT. Wouldn't that be great? It was just testosterone that we needed. The way they and many women on these high doses talk about the relationships sometimes has this ring of romantasy, fantastic tales of sexual rejuvenation and newfound intimacy. One woman in her 50s told me that after years of revulsion at so much of the thought of her husband's breath, Exactly. Ladies, it's your problem. Deal with it, ladies. Lose the weight, hit the test. We don't care. It's not our problem. Guys, it's not your problem. It's not your problem. It's thought of her husband's breath. She now looked forward to having sex with him almost every night. Well, maybe it is chemicals, right? Well, you guys know that, like, the post-nut clarity. I mean, you're not really all that interested in these girls. You just want to have sex. Although I think we've been pretty honest about that. Although I guess not. A lot of you guys actually, oh my God, that's amazing. You're a journalism major? Wow. Fascinating. Oh, you voted for Hillary. Oh, yeah, I voted Hillary too. You have the exact same thoughts as everybody else? Wow, so do I. Touch P now. Then he wanted to have sex. I'm so gross. He was like caring and nice, and then he asked about coming up to my bedroom. Like, oh my God, men are creeps. Every night, even in the middle of sex, she said she was thinking about the next time they could have sex. Another woman told me she had more orgasms in the past 2 years of testosterone than in the entirety of her previous life. A third said that after years of wanting to rip someone's face off, if her husband so much as touched her, she now actively pursued sex. These are not okay. I gotta side with Gia. That's wrong, man. There's something wrong with you. I think if we go back to the chocolate ice cream analogy, the worst it is when you find out somebody doesn't like chocolate ice cream, you're like, well, that's weird. That's weird. I don't hate the guy. It's just weird. But if someone offered you chocolate ice cream and you want to rip someone's face off, or you hated someone who, hey, you want to get some chocolate ice cream sometime? And they got pissed at you. Yeah, I think there's some issues. What did the feminists do to you, to women my age? What did they do to you in the baby? But what happened? Like, I've had women I don't find attractive, not so much proposition me, but ask me out or indicate they'd be interested. No. And I've had gay guys, I guess this would be a better analogy, gay men, which I have no interest in having sex with, hit on me, obviously much more clearly because we get to the point. And obviously no, but I never got angry. It was always flattering. Like, oh, hey, a gay guy hit on me. All right. It's a good day. Because you girls sure the fuck aren't. Hey, you're hot. You said, no, I don't. It's too bad. You sure? Yeah, I'm sure. And, all right. Thanks, buddy. I kind of I'm like, I still got it. So at least gay men will be honest. Women won't tell you if you're hot or not. You'll know you ask a gay man. Hey, am I hot? Yeah, I do. Okay, thanks. Just want to know, buddy. And then your husband, the guy you're married to, wants to have sex. You want to rip his face off. It's not us. I knew it'd be this horse shit. I knew it. I fucking knew it. And it's not scientific. There's no numbers or data. I just want to let you guys know, like, look, it ain't you, man. To them, I don't know what the question is, right? It's not as simple as, do you want to have chocolate ice cream? To them, it's like, do you believe in God? It's some big it's a Gordian knot that they get to untie. You don't have to. You don't have to help them untie it. Heaven, that's worse. The only thing worse than untying the Gordian knot is trying to help somebody untie the Gordian knot. They will let you know. There are women out there that have healthy sexual appetite. I have thankfully ran into a couple of them. But yeah, there's been times you will run into this. Either girls you're dating or girls, heaven forbid, that you're a boyfriend, girlfriend. By the way, if a woman doesn't like chocolate ice cream, no, there's no marriage, there's no relationship, none. It just isn't going to happen. I mean, you can be friends. Like I said, we have a term for women we like but don't want to have sex with, friends. But my God, the hatred. If anything, she now worried she wanted it more often than he did. Just as estrogen is crucial for hormone in men, It's a crucial hormone for men. Testosterone is an important hormone for women, instrumental in the development of bones, muscles, and sexual function. Testosterone peaks in women never. Oh, I'm sorry. In their late teens and early 20s, then declines over time, so that by the age of 60, their levels have fallen by about half. Men start out in young adulthood with 10 times the testosterone of women, and their levels diminish much less steeply over time. With less available testosterone, women may have fewer erotic thoughts and less motivation to pursue sexual pleasure. Well, I know this results in the R word, but isn't kind of that what booze was for? I have a question. Yes, you, sir, with that amazing Snoopy sweatshirt in the back. If booze is the R word, isn't testosterone also the R word, right? There should be no foreign substances, no happy drugs, no foreign happy chemicals into the body. She has to make this decision sober when she's a cranky, pissed off 55-year-old spinster bearing Karen, right? That's when. Well, I guess they're taking their own drug, I suppose. But if girls drink their own booze, that's not right. That's bad. We go to jail. They're fine. They don't have responsibility, no matter how many bottles of Jack Daniels they drink. I got to know. Didn't we have this kind of solved with booze? And I don't know the chemical. I'm sure there's medical professionals out in the audience who would know this. But didn't booze kind of maybe make them want to have sex, relax a little? So, okay, now it's testosterone. Just it's more direct. Let me guess, it's empowering. She just sell booze. Empowerment juice. Gurgle, gurgle, gurgle. Ah, I'm happy. I'm not an erotic twit anymore. I enjoy sex. I arrived. Oh, less motivation to pursue sexual pleasure. Some of the mechanisms that make sex feel good can falter, such as the production of nitric oxide, a molecule that relaxes the muscles around and allows for greater blood flow. Well, we didn't know this. You couldn't. Never mind. For men experiencing the effects of low testosterone, low libido, low energy, low loss of muscle mass, and a fat wife. Oh, I'm sorry. The FDA has approved more than 30 products since 1950, and yet to this day, there's no FDA-approved testosterone cream. What are you talking about? That's a lie. I know several women that have. I know one on cream and one that got the shots. You can get it. Get the fuck, Jesus. Could it be women don't like sex that much, so it wasn't that big? There's not that much demand. Always, women are oppressed. The FDA approved 73 different things. It's just like shit. Can I just get the news? Can I get the news without your fucking violin sob story that no one believes anymore? Yes, women are. Yes. Yes. Art Stanton. Yes. And I'm Lincoln's grandmother. Or what was it? What did he say? Tuco? Yet to this day, there's no FDA-approved testosterone cream, patch, or pill or shot for women, even though their testosterone levels fall far more precipitously than men as they age. That drop doesn't necessarily predict the loss of libido, and there are many other factors that might be at play. Fatigue, body image, or trouble related. Fat people. Body image. You mean you're fat? No, not like I have my image and I don't feel beautiful. Yeah, because you're ugly as shit. You fat as fuck, girl, dude. I gotta duct tape your fat folds to get access. Yeah, it's not your body image. That's what it is. But once other concerns have been ruled out, leading medical societies endorse the use of testosterone in appropriate doses. Now, you can't have 2 drinks, and you might actually go have fun. For postmenopausal women complaining about low libido, high-quality research. Research shows, studies suggest. Where is it? Is there a link? Has shown that testosterone can meaningfully revive sex drive when prescribed in doses that restore women to roughly the levels they had in their late 30s, what's often considered standard dosing. Even so, without FDA approval. Oh, God, not the approval. We need the approval. I mean, how could you get married without government license? Many doctors won't prescribe or don't know how to prescribe testosterone to women. And if they do, insurance won't cover. Oh, no. Women got to pay for their own shit. Oh, my God. Let's kill every man on the planet. How dare women pay for just an entitled. You guys see how entitled they are? I'm talking to all young people, men and women. This is a gal who's about my age, in New York Times, right? Do you see how entitled the adults are? That hasn't stopped women from pursuing the hormone, often turned away by mainstream OBGYNs. Women, you are a liar. Whatever your name is, you are a liar. That is a lie. Women can find this. I know 2 people, different states, they could get it. Wasn't an issue. Isn't turning everything into a victimhood problem for women? Isn't that so 2013? Can we stop that now? People are sick of you to crying wolf. Knock it off. Have sought non-traditional venues that are happy to sell it to them. Med spas, longevity practices, wellness centers, nutritionists, among other. The place I got my TRT, women could get it. There are plenty of clinics. What would it be? Not hormonal clinics. Endocrinologists? Is that correct? Increasingly, women are being given doses much higher than what's standard, sometimes spending upward of $1,000 a year. Yeah, I was paying like $250, $280 a month. Oh no, women paying to have sex. That's the problem, isn't it? That I got to the solution. I got to the core of the problem. They're pissed they got to pay to have sex. They're real pissed off. $1,000 a year, risking unpleasant, possibly irreversible side effects to pursue a dramatic high. I see more and more of these places popping up because of all the hype around testosterone, says Stephanie Fabian, director of the Mayo Clinic. All right, this person I do trust. Mayo Clinic Center for Women's Health and a medical director of the Menopause Society. There you go. This is the gal. There it is. And a lot of them are giving women testosterone doses that gets them to levels that are normal in a man, but definitely not a woman. Oh no, the women are having sex. Quick! Somebody stop them. Rhapsodic stories of sexual reawakening have spread on social media where testosterone influence. Oh my God. It's just, wait, do women like men now? I'm confused. Are women now pro men? You want to have sex? You want to have testosterone? Or is it that you want to have sex? It'd just be easy if you like chocolate ice cream. I swear to God, it'd just be easier if you like chocolate ice cream. Guys, it so isn't you, man. Okay, we at least take we here at Men Incorporated take the firm stance and position that we are pro-sex. We like chocolate ice cream. We won't budge. We won't change. We will always like chocolate ice cream. It's a very simple, reliable stance. I don't know if you have alcohol, but it may be. It depends on what I don't know for vibing. It's Beaker. It's all Beaker. Oh, where testosterone influencers share their experiences. I went years with no sex drive. Marcella Hill, an influencer in Utah, confides in an Instagram post from 2022. After going on a high dose of testosterone that year, she said she rediscovered her attraction to her husband and started being on time for things. I can't get it. That could go all day. My body would just heat up just from him walking in the room. Oh no. The season on The Real Housewives of Orange County, 3 of the show's stars described their testosterone regimen. Gretchen? How old is this lady? Rossi was shown barring her bottom as her doctor implanted beneath her skin a tiny but powerful pellet packed with crystalline testosterone. You said these people didn't exist. You said they were nowhere to be found. With crystalline testosterone that will be released over the course of about 4 months. She commented afterwards that she had recently reduced her levels. I had to take mine down because I was humping everything. Oh, that would just be horrible. Rossi's co-star Jennifer Pedranti commiserated, "You'll just hump and hump and hump away." Yeah, that's totally not for the show. In group chats at kids' soccer games over drinks, word of testosterone power has spread. Carrie Simpson, 55. Look, can you all do this when you're more like in your 20s or like early 30s? Could you do it then? Carrie Simpson, 55, in Gardnerville, Nevada. Went on high dose testosterone on the advice of a friend who promised it would help her with her general fatigue. Right after she got her first dose, her family knows that she was considerably more opinionated than usual and would argue her points with fierce intensity. Would you just yell emotions louder? Did you use spreadsheets? Did you use charts like I did back in the day? I did. I had a CD of charts back when we had CDs. I just put that in the laptop or the computer. I'm like, see, didn't get me girls at the party. My daughter told me at one point I was acting like a teenage boy. Simpson told me the observation made sense since Simpson's testosterone levels were approaching the range of a typical teenage boy's. That's a little high. It's night and day, she said. You're like, holy cow, a light bulb goes on. I'm on fire. Testosterone is the hormone most strongly linked to aggression and sex drive in males across the animal kingdom, writes Carol Hooven in her book T, The Story of Testosterone. The title is longer than the book. T, The Story of Testosterone, the hormone that dominates us and divides us. Male song sparrows given extra testosterone abandon their usual nesting tending ways, spending more time singing to mark the territory and attracting new mates, sometimes leaving their newborn chicks to die of starvation. Female rats that are juiced with additional testosterone are more likely to have a drink and chill out. More likely to bite and attack while other rats are competing for food. Testosterone is thought to spike and drop in response to certain cues. Men's levels rise in competitive situations but fall when they become fathers. The more time they spend with their newborns, the more their testosterone declines. That competitive. I didn't think about that, but that's true. Anytime I go hiking with my friends, I surprisingly have more energy, but more conscious. I'm not even thinking of testosterone. I mean, it happens naturally. I bet you it does. When I go hiking with my buddies, you can't let them win. You can't let them mouth you. You can't have a bad mouth. You gotta, especially the 27-year-old kid. I gotta crush him. I gotta beat him. So I have bragging rights afterwards. But that is true when I go hiking with other people, even if I'm not intending to beat the shit out of them. How testosterone functions in women is not as well understood. I don't think anyone cares if they start liking chocolate ice cream. But over the past several decades, a number of large trials of products, patches, creams, and gels have shown that standard dose testosterone improve women's desire, arousal, sexual responsiveness, and even self-image. Yet the FDA had the opportunity to approve one of those products in 2004, a patch created by Procter & Gamble that raised the number of satisfying sexual encounters women reported by an average of 1 per month. It declined to do so, concluding that the uptick was not enough in the absence of long-term safety studies, something agency had not required for men. Well, okay, just go get your testosterone shots then. The finding of 1 a month was an average, points out Susan Davis, an endocrinologist at Monash University in Australia and a leading researcher on testosterone in women. Many women would have more, but even one additional satisfying sexual encounter for a woman who's currently having none could be world-changing, pleasure-delivering. I thought you didn't need no man. Wait, now this is important? No, come on, man. Come on. It's important now? Now it's life-changing. Beforehand, I can replace you with this, a vibrator thing. All the I don't need now, it's like now. Confidence building, couple strengthening, just removing the dread that so many women experience at the thought of sex with their partners might have justified. How many women, look, wait, with your partner, the guy you've been with? You dread it? I mean, how much do you dread it with some rando? Obviously a lot more, or am I wrong? Familiarity breeds contempt? Guys, here's another, I'm deadly serious about this. Don't get married. Right? they whatever, the testosterone dropped. It ain't even her fault. But I don't want to have sex. I feel like ripping faces off. I know that's an extreme one. Or they dread having sex with you? No, goodbye. Because how much you want to bet in these sexless marriages, which, Christians, tell me about it. The guy can't go and cheat. He can't get a sight. And if he did, oh my God, shame, right? Well, he ain't getting any. Guys, by the way, if your wife isn't fucking you, you have, one, you should get divorced. But two, you have every right to go fuck other women. Absolutely. Absolutely. Several countries have come to that conclusion. Standard dose testosterone cream for women has now been approved in Australia, South Africa, New Zealand, and the United Kingdom, where demand soared nearly 400% between 2019 and 2022. Well, what's 400%? What was your base? And they got this creepy, good God, you are feminists and communists. Oh, God, that's creepy. Right now, women in the United States who want to take standard dose testosterone, typically 5 milligrams per day, first have to find a practitioner who prescribes the hormone. That's not that hard. Then they can buy out of pocket. Oh, no. What? I have a question. Yes, what do you leftist women have a problem with paying for your own shit? Like, is everything supposed to be free? Just everything is free? Tubes of testosterone cream that are intended for men. Men are instructed to use the entire tube, while women have to estimate how much, about 1/10 of the tube it would be. Alternatively, they can pay more for a prescription that their doctor gives to a compounding pharmacy, which provides customized medications not regulated by the FDA to get dispensers that can dole out the proper amount. There you go. You're going to find out. Look, I think this is clickbait. I think a lot of this is real, of course. I think there's a 400% increase, but this is not going to be the majority of women like, oh, okay, yeah, this was what? Right, Ozempic, here's how you lose weight. Right, they're all about that. Everyone's all about that. Hey, here's a legal way for you to get testosterone, whether FDA approved or not. Don't think that it's just around the corner. These girls are like, oh, finally, cool. I really do want to love my husband and have sex. I really do want to have orgasms. You will see how little, what would be great if there was an FDA approved drug, we could see sales in it. It will, it will come nowhere near to the sales of Viagra. Like, this is essentially the Viagra pill for gals, right? Where it puts you in the mood. Okay. Because men generally won't have any problem getting it up. But whereas there's tremendous demand for men, like, yeah, I want to perform. I want to, how much demand, right? Right? Whatever. Once the data starts coming out, I'll compare it. Because Viagra's been around for a while now, hasn't it? Because Bob Dole was advertising it. Probably around for 20 years. What a nightmare. Living life without liking chocolate ice cream. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for you guys. Or gals. Hunting down a practitioner willing to prescribe testosterone can be a frustrating experience. Kimberly Solo, 44-year-old therapist in Massachusetts, approached her OBGYN about taking testosterone because her libido was just gone, she told me. Her doctor refused on the ground that it wasn't FDA approved and that she was concerned about potential side effects. Eventually, she found her way to MIDI, a virtual care platform for middle-aged women that currently prescribes standard dose testosterone in 12 states. There you go. There it is. It was amazing, Solo said. My sex drive returned. I wouldn't say that it has returned to the previous level, but it's not zero like it had been. I'm happy for you. Because I do think a lot of gals, they were and they would, but then, age just caught up with them and they got back. So good for you. Lindsay Lister, a dental hygienist from New York, had a similar experience. 2 doctors ruled out testosterone before Lister found one who had prescribed it through a compounding pharmacy. She too described the revival of her libido as a return to how she felt earlier in life. It wasn't an overwhelming experience, but she was more receptive to the idea of sex with her husband than she had felt in years. The guys do not get, dude, you know what? That has to go here. Where is... This has to be vitamins, podcast, Vegas, video games. I'm going to put this on the to-do list. Just bear with me, guys. This is how I make my money. I need to open up my to-do list and this thought not go away. There it is. There. When you talk to your future significant other, I'm having kids, I'm not having kids, I'm not getting married, you're not getting my money, all these other conversations. One of the conversations, when you start hitting menopause, you were getting on testosterone. There won't be none of this. I puke at the thought of your dick. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Medical societies officially recommend standard dose testosterone only for postmenopausal women because most of the research has been conducted on that population. But many practitioners will offer it to premenopausal women whom they consider to be appropriate candidates. How are you going to stop them? Hell, we should be giving how do we get birth rates? Oh my God, how do we get the birth rates? Oh my God, population collapse. I don't know. Have you thought about giving women testosterone in their 20s? Maybe their 30s? Have you thought about making drinking legal again? Drunk sex. Have you thought about no one goes to jail in drunk sex? Have you thought about that? Some of the doctors start their patients below the standard dose to be extra cautious. Others are comfortable floating marginally higher than the guidelines recommend, but many women, what's the worst? Wait a minute. Aren't you guys are all leftists over at the New York Times. You guys are for shooting kids full of hormones and testosterone, estrogen, whatever it is you do. You're all for having chemical transition sex, right? Which I gotta imagine is hormones, right? And you're worried about a little bit extra testosterone in a woman's. You're cutting people's junk off. You're for that. For the kids, right? You're for that. Some of you are, right? So some of you are like, oh, we got to get them in. We got to dope them. And you're worried about a 52-year-old lady having a little bit more testosterone than she ought. She needs a fucking drink. That's what she needs. And in fairness, you men need to lose weight. I can understand women not want to fuck their men. You guys are fat. Just as many fat guys as there are fat women in this country. The obesity rates are the same. But many women go on testosterone without ever having a real conversation with a doctor about the pros and cons. They come to it through dramatic stories they've heard from their friends or alluring ads they've seen online. And the first experience of the hormone is high dose, high impact, and highly unpredictable. Tui, a 47-year-old entrepreneur and mother of 4 in California, was in a state of exhaustion when she saw an ad on Instagram in 2022. It promised her more oomph, more desire, the promise of feeling like her best self. That September, she drove to see the doctor featured in the post, whose clinic was in Beverly Hills. The doctor anesthetized her left buttock, made a small incision, and implanted a pellet beneath her skin, which raised her testosterone level to more than 3 times that of an average 30-year-old woman. Tui asked her to protect family's privacy. She spent most of her adult life building 3 financial service businesses with her husband, originally too broke to pay for childcare, and then too accustomed to going it alone. She regularly hustled her way through 18-hour days to make her children's schedules work alongside her own. She had to force herself out of bed each morning and was so exhausted at the end of the day that her body ached. How about you don't have 4 children? He's a genius. He's a genius. Again, for you younger people, this is a 47-year-old woman. Working 18 hours a day. Hey, I bet you the thing would be a lot easier if you didn't have 4 kids. Within a few weeks of the pellets testosterone emanating into her bloodstream, Tui noticed a difference in how she felt. It was not subtle. It was as she had woken up with a second heart. She felt super oxygenated and light, desirous, energetic. She bounded out of bed in the morning, which had been her main goal, but she also realized she had started looking forward to She started looking forward to sex with her husband at night. She used to buy lingerie just to speed him along. Now she was buying it for herself, felt herself intrigued by racier pieces. After 20 years of rote sex, it felt like a job. She started regularly having orgasms during intercourse. Guys, you're on testosterone. That's it. There's no discussion, right? We're just discovering this now, right? I have to bring this up now with the GM. Like, hey, The things start going down. We're going to get you on testosterone. You need to have this conversation when you're dating them when they're 22. Then around Christmas, she noticed something. Shocking amounts of her hair were ending up in the shower floor. Oh. She realized she could see white patches on her scalp, and her hair had thinned. By around 3 the month mark, she lost almost half of it. Oh boy, that's a drawback. Hair loss is one of the known side effects of high doses of testosterone. It's in the inverse of the dilemma some men face when they try to avoid balding by using popular drugs that preserve their hair by altering their testosterone levels. They might find themselves with the youthful, full head of hair they long for while struggling for the first time with low libido and erectile dysfunction and a fat wife. I'm going to keep pointing it out. Tell you all, both the man and the woman, the husband and wife, start losing weight. I want to hear about, you don't want to have sex no more. Well, yeah, your husband's a pig. He doesn't want to have sex with you either. How many rolls of duct tape do you both go through taping up the fat? That'll be the new parlance for having sex. Yeah, we're going to tape up the fat. Oh, yeah. Is that? Yeah. It's my birthday. Time to tape up the fat. Tui discovered that there was no immediate way to stop her hair loss. Once a pellet has been implanted under the skin, it dissolves and the procedure can't be reversed, points out Kathleen Jordan, medical chief officer at MIDI, the telehealth provider. So if you're experiencing side effects, there's nothing you could do about it until the pellet has run its course, which could typically take 3 to 4 months. Yeah, well, I would go, like, what do you want the least, in anything? You want the least amount of dosage to achieve the results, right? I don't have a super high dose of a statin. I just have the lowest amount possible. You prefer to have it be the least amount so you don't lose your hair. Found a different doctor put on a lower dose once the pellet had run the course. The side effects of a high dose testosterone can make women feel less attractive. What? The side effects of high dose, as they're feeling, can make women. I swear to God, this is only a woman could come up with. Only you girls could come up with this. The side effects of high dose testosterone can make women feel less attractive, just as they are feeling more desirous. The fuck? What the fuck? While losing the hair on their heads, women can find hair growing darker and in greater quantities in places they don't desire, such as above their lip and on their upper thighs. They can also develop acne. A small percentage of women on standard doses also report these symptoms. Modeling usually reversible. Over a long period of time, how long does this go? High doses of testosterone can thicken the vocal cords, which can make a woman's voices sound hoarse or deeper, and can enlarge a change that can be nearly imperceptible or dramatic enough to cause discomfort. One medical practice in Austin, Texas, that offers high-dose testosterone lists and enlarged as a common side effect on its website, but reassures patients that the practice also offers a surgical procedure to remedy. I don't even want a surgical procedure. Lisa Steinbach, who's OBGYN, prescribed high-dose testosterone for fatigue and overall wellness after she had a hysterectomy. Noticed no improvement in her energy or in her sex life, though that had been an issue for her. But about a year into the treatment, she started sounding like someone who had a persistent cold. Her voice got worse over time. It's very raspy, she said. And people are always asking me, are you sick? Well, I think it's a man's voice. Some women on high testosterone experienced a level of arousal so intense they find it uncomfortable. Susan Davis, who had studied testosterone levels for decades, recalls one woman who came to her wanting to lower her dose. She had recently injured her back having sex with her husband in the car. She instructed him to pull over to the side of the road, unable to wait for really. This is it. This is it. We've got our answer right here. If testosterone treatment alone can get you girls to calm down Beaker in your mind and to relax and to throw all that feminist horse shit out, that would be amazing. That would be amazing. Then we can enjoy chocolate ice cream together. You just want to enjoy chocolate ice cream. Oh, God. They don't have the chocolate ice cream. Oh, some women on high experience level. Tammy Nelson, a sex therapist. I'm a sexpert. You see how I cleverly put sexpert down below? A sex therapist in California also found her level of arousal be distractingly high. The testosterone made her so irritable, so easily annoyed, so frankly disgusted by the failures of mankind, especially her own man, her husband, that she couldn't bring herself to have sex. A sex therapist. They don't know what they're doing. A sex therapist got sexual treatment so she could have sex with her husband, but it made her not want to have sex. I want to have sex with my husband, she said. I was just too pissed off at him to do it. It took Angie Neeram, a women's health advocate who was taking high dose of testosterone, several months of feeling uncontrolled rage towards her husband to realize that although her marriage was not perfect, it was the testosterone that was driving her fury. Women should be clearly informed of these possible side effects, says Rachel Rubin, a urologist who specializes in sexual medicine. But many of them tell Rubin they don't care. In fact, someone say like the extra sensitivity comes with a larger. She points out that hormonal birth control suppresses testosterone. Oh, does it now? There's that whole book that was written about it. Yeah, ladies, if you want to get back to having sex, get off birth control and find a guy with a vasectomy. It is. I don't. You know whose problem it is to deal with the birth control, gentlemen? Like for them, I mean, we have our own birth control. It's the hormonal effects. You know whose problem? It's their problem. So many women's are than they would ordinarily be. Testosterone was like a religion. She says people have strong feelings when it comes to testosterone. Little research exists on long-term health risks for women taking such high doses as libido. They fear happiness, and a long-term marriage would be one of them. The fact is, we just don't know, says Kathleen Jordan of MIDI. Trans men take testosterone in much higher doses than even the highest dose pellets. So you mean women who are going to be men? Is that what you mean by trans men? You mean women who are trans men are taking higher doses? That's my whole, are not thought to be putting their health at risk, Rubin says. That was my question before. But she criticized the companies that produce pellets for failing to conduct long-term gold standard studies of their own products. In February, the FDA began requiring all approved testosterone products for men to come with a warning label about the risks of high blood pressure. Oh, here's, I saw sexual liberation. The promises that some testosterone providers make about the energy, strength, and mood have an obvious appeal in the current moment. Middle-aged women of both sides of the political spectrum feel underserved by mainstream medicine. Shut up. I guarantee if I look it up right now, women consume way more medical expenses than men. I guarantee you do. And their social media feeds are full of offerings that promise them they can biohack or spend their way to a more perfect self. Some of the women I interviewed were taking testosterone to try to save their marriage. Got to keep them happy. Yes, you do. You goddamn right. You don't fuck us, we will find someone who will. And you may be kicked out of that. You might get the house, but we're not going to be there. Others were desperate for energy as they tried to juggle the superhuman demands on all too many working mothers. I don't know. Maybe you just stop voting to raise taxes and you could live on one income and live with a guy who... Women who are on testosterone high or alone often sound as if they are in the midst of a new phase of sexual liberation. But do you want to have sex? Really? That's like that. These women obviously do, right? They're celebrating it. I'm a little more doubtful for the general population. If the hear me out, mark this down. If the FDA comes out with an approved testosterone treatment for women, so in other words, a pharmaceutical company comes out with it and the FDA approves it, we're going to have our data point. We're going to have our horse. And we're going to see how far and fast that horse runs against the Viagra horse. I guarantee, you know what? You know what I'm going to bet? You know what I'm going to bet? I'm going to bet it's already in the math numbers. 10%. Women have 10% the testosterone and other men. I bet you it's going to land at about 10%. You're going to see 10% of the sales of Viagra women. That's how much you're going to see. And it'll be a whole big now that 10% of women would be very happy. Oh my God, you're having sex again and having fun with your husband. Oh no. Who thought happiness might be there? The business owner from California is now on a dose of testosterone is high end for women in their 30s, produced naturally, but she misses those mega doses days when she would wake up every morning, feels as she could take on the world, start a PhD, and explore her sex life. Very little of the hair that Tui lost has grown. Oh no. Would she do it again? Yes, yes, and yes, she says. My goodness, a little drug. A little drug is maybe will undo all of feminism. Thank you very much for sending me that article. Gentlemen, be happy, right, that your sexuality is so conclusive. You know how happy you should be? You should be as happy as gay guys. We know why gay guys are happy. Not because gay, they're happy because it's two dudes. Just because you're gay doesn't mean you're not a dude. They're dudes that they're people that want to have sex. That's why they're always happy, among other reasons. They don't have kids. They've got money. They're getting laid. Be happy you know you like chocolate ice cream, okay? And I know you would love to have chocolate ice cream with women, but you got to realize this is such an overly complicated question. Do you like chocolate ice cream? Sometimes maybe no, I'm not in the mood. Depends on what birth control. You take that, you open up the door and say, oh my God, what the fuck is going on in here? And then before they see you, you close the door slowly close the door, and it latches, and then you back away from the door. And if anyone in that room wants to come have sex with you, they will come into your door. They will open up your door, like, hey, is there any sex going on here? Like, yeah, come on in. You like chocolate ice cream too, huh? Yeah, I do. Are you had a vasectomy? Yeah, I do. No STDs? No. Oh, cool. Let's go. All right. That was fun. Bye. All right. We'll see you again. Maybe. Wow. The perfect woman. Link below if you'd like to see some other numbers and statistics on women's interest in men. Please go get the book of numbers, analyzing the ROI in the pursuit of women. I'm going to be watching this to see how many women jump on the testosterone bandwagon, because then it would be an admission that you do like men and you do want to have sex. It will be very interesting. In the mean, Kevin Spacey from American Beauty. Well, come on, I'm ready. Dre, $2. Are midgets too short to have syndrome? Down 4'9" Cappy. Dre. He's in rare form. What's great about Dre, he doesn't come up with it's not a short joke book he's got, and he just puts my name into it. He comes up with these on his own. Dre again for $2. Cappy is so short that growth hormones won't work. Nope, this is as high as I got with growth hormones. Truth sets you free. 10 generous stars. They have to make the impossible choice of not coming so they can sell, trade sex for goods and services, or mean that they enjoy it as much as us, therefore can't use it as leverage. I don't care. See how much easier that is? I will say, if women like sex as much as men, you don't want that, because if they did, we'd overpopulate. One sex needs to be disinterested. The other has to be overly interested, because otherwise you don't choose for the best genes. And then that one group who's overly interested doesn't go and create literally everything in the civilized world. Because if girls just came over and had sex with us all the time, we wouldn't be going to school or college or fixing cars or going off to war. We'd be like, well, so I honestly don't think women like sex anywhere near as much as men. That much is true. That's true. So it's kind of fascinating. Oh, so you get a little guy juice, and like the client said, and I'm like, oh yeah, look at this. RJ, $5. Hi, Aaron Cleary. You Van Watch It video. You can watch it video. Why are famous communists usually rich Nepo babies is a good video. Your Van Watch It video. Famous. Did I do a video on that? The majority of your founding communists are rich, upper, like Mao Zedong, Lenin, Bernie Sanders, Joe Biden, Barry, Obama, they all, what's his name? Dean Phillips, wealthy, soft, pathetic, pansified trust fund Nepo babies. Not to say the right doesn't have Nepo baby, obviously the Bushes, but yeah, they're the ones. Hat and clogs, $2. Everyone is an animal or twig and have no control. Yep. But women do have control. They have control whether or not to take the testosterone. You get, rarely do you get to see female agency under the microscope. You're going to see it. You're going to see, all right, are they going to go on the testosterone? Is this what is it? Here's an opportunity. Come on, baby. I'm ready. You're going to see it. Dre, $5. Women don't like men. They tolerate men. Tell them no or ignore them. Coach Greg Adams. Hey, Andrew Bronca, please subscribe to his channel, especially if you're interested in gun rights and a loud, angry man, angrier than me, yelling about politics. Proposed 98% of the time, men find women simply tiresome. The other 2% of the time, the WAP is usually mid. Discuss. I will agree with that. The vast majority of women I was with, because I was interested only or mostly sexually, but in their defense, some of them I did enjoy their company. But the number of women that had a sex drive on par with me, 2. And nowhere have I ever come to these horrific relationships where the woman just hates me and doesn't want to have sex with me. And it never got to that. But I'll tell you, those 2 girls that want to have sex, it was nice. It was nice. And it wasn't even that the sex was amazing. There was that, but it was also that there was no problem. They wanted, like, let's go. Like, there was the implication, like, okay, where can we have sex? It was great. There was no arguing. And these girls were also interesting women in their own regards. But yeah, and none of this is their fault. They're if anything, this testosterone tells you, like, yeah, they're genetically, biologically hardwired not to like sex as much. It's not their fault. It is their choice now. See if they want to come on the chocolate ice cream train. And Andrew Bronca, again, $10. Women eventually find out that vibrators don't make car payment. Women eventually find out that vibrators don't make car payments or rent, nor pay for dinners or vacation. Of course, by then they're 40 and competing with 20-year-old younger versions of themselves. I guess so. Correct. True. I wasn't even going with that angle. Not to get too detailed, but I'd be curious what % of women can arrive using a toy versus with a man. Let's say the man is very good, like Sterling Cooper. I'm wondering if it's the presence of another human being and they don't feel safe, whereas a toy is their safe little toys. There's like Linus in his security blanket. Dre, $5. Women are like banks for men. As long as their money is in the bank, there's interest. Coach Greg Adams, do you plan on doing a show with him? I would love to go hiking with him, but I think Greg is a monk. I was going to say hermit. Hermit is a pejorative. Greg is a monk. I think he really likes his peace. And even though him and I are colleagues, we enjoyed each other's company. I've offered to go hiking with him a couple times because he's in Vegas and he's never followed up. So I think he's just, and I can understand it. I think because I want to spend more and more time by myself, especially now I got all this shit done. Yeah, I could see his peace, not only not having women disturb his peace, but any other person. Like, I think he just wants to chill out and hang out with his dog and go hiking. And you know what? I think that's perfectly peaceful. But I would like to go golf with him once or go for one hike with him, before the old man, I think he's a year older than me. Like, to the date, I think him and I got very similar birthdays. David Frost, $10. I'm 21, currently serving in the military while getting a tech degree. Your videos about economics at university truly changed my life. I'm now saving money and plan on becoming a defense contractor. Nice. So you get a tech degree. If you can, Dave, maybe pick up a little bit of accounting courses, because if you're going to become a defense contract, I know, but being able to read financial statements wouldn't be the worst thing if you had a minor in accounting. But good to hear, Dave. Good to hear that you're not going to starve like me and you're going to do well. Andrew, again, $5 question I saw proposed elsewhere. If the average women were somehow given the IQ of the average canine, would men be better off or worse? I don't think it's intelligence. I don't think it's intelligence. Men and women have the same average IQ. It's the distribution that is different. Men have a flatter curve, women have a tighter curve, but average, it's the same, plus or minus one. I don't think it's intelligence that drives a canine to be happy and loyal. It's that you serve them food. I also think that I'm not a big believer in God, but it's almost divine intervention. Like by design, dogs gravitate so well to humans. And it could be a unique situation or scenario in evolution that two creatures have such a symbiotic relationship. Or it could be God designed it that way, but I don't think it's IQ. I don't think it's intelligence. I think it's somehow dogs and humans just complement each other really well. Men and women, they have, this is old man Rollo, they have adversarial and competing dating strategies. A dog wants to help you no matter what because it knows in helping you, it helps itself. Women and men, it's like, no, I just want the sex out of you. I want you to be quiet. No, I want you to talk and listen to me and indulge me in this bullshit. And more logically provide me security and safety that I do understand. I don't know why I gotta listen to the dumb shit. But I think there's something special about dog. It wouldn't work. Making people dumber doesn't mean they're going to become as good as dogs. Dre, $5. Feminism has freed men. Women don't like men. They just want a sponsor and a pet wallet, so just rent them. Men can have peace, quiet, and freedom. Coach Greg Adams. Dre, have you ever met him? You're a big fan of him, obviously. Dre, $2. Do you listen to Coach Greg Adams streams while power walking? I tune in every once in a while. I do. I appreciate when he talks about the girls with the pencil skirts because him and I are we're on the same boat there. Andrew, again, $5. Fat men are literally swimming in estrogen. Yes, that's another thing is if you're both over. Here's a question. How much this would go away if, they're talking about everyone in this thing was 40 plus. How much of this would go away if both the man and the wife lost 50, 60, 100 pounds? What would happen? I think a lot of that would go away. Dre, $2. Cappy's too short to be a short expert. The Plains Warrior, $2. Cappy's so short, going as a Jawa for Halloween. Really? What, you going to join Dre on this? Are you now, Plains? Huh? Dre, $5. Cappy's so small when he got his vasectomy, the doctor asked him, where are your family jewels? YouTube censors so many. Well, I wonder why, Dre. Dre, again, $2. Coach Greg Adams is living the free agent lifestyle. He is. Elon Musk's filthy jockstrap. Dear Cappy, I feel like I am a problem as I only possess the 4 4s and not the 6 6s. Femboy Fantasia isn't returning my calls. He is hung. Hey, we are pro Femboy Fantasia. I think we've had bi people in the audience before, but he is our bisexual agent in the field, our official bisexual agent in the field. And what you guys do, I don't care. And Andrew, again, $2. Pencil skirts for yeah, he's right. You know what I like? I always like this, only because a couple girls indulge me in it. They'd have their corporate outfit, right? And they'd have their skirty skirts, pencil skirt, not, but the corporate skirt. And then in winter, because it's Minnesota, they always have like stockings or thigh highs on, but nothing else for easy access. That was it. So their legs stayed cool, but they wouldn't have anything else on, just be like maybe a garter belt or something like that. And then it'd be like, hey, what are you doing for lunch? We're doing that. And that is, dude, I'm wondering nowadays, modernly, especially with the pushback with the red pill, a guy asking for lingerie or saying, no, you're putting on this, are girls kind of understanding like, oh, that's not gross or wrong or bad? Because I remember back in the day, it's like, oh, you probably like that. Oh, and then some other gals, that's a pretty good screen I found. Like if the girl's into lingerie, she's into sex. She's like, why would I wear that? Friend of mine and I, we have a nice female friend. She's a bit curmudgeonly and Play-Doh-y. He says, could you imagine her if you finally got her to wear a French maid outfit? She'd come out like, what? I'm wearing it. What? You want the girls like, really? Oh, okay. You're like, oh, all right. You like chocolate ice cream. Oh, okay. I see. Lingerie is the sprinkles that goes on top of the chocolate ice cream. And there are people who like sprinkles on chocolate ice cream because sprinkles are awesome in both the real world and the metaphor. And then a guy's like, that's degrading. That's objectification. You close the door. Lock it. And you back away from the door and you say, enjoy wasting your whole life being a miserable Baron Karen spinster Kuwanta. I'll have sex with your daughter. All right, that's it. The Book of Numbers, analyzing the ROI and the pursuit of women. I got a copy of it right here. Rollo did that cover. Go there. See how little interest women have in you. Or sex, anyway. And shh, ladies, in the comments, shh. You don't have to say, women like sex, just not with you. We know. Thank you. Thank you. And go ahead, make the small penis gay jokes as well. All right, that's it. See you guys later, Toodles.